before we get started with the Kerbal Space Program, what I wanted to do, and just play my microphone for no reason, what I want to do is just show you the mods we actually installed, because we got a few mods installed actually, and I want you to know what they are and what we're going to be doing, because obviously it'll make sense to you then. So if I just turn on the monitor, boop, there we go, monitor. We have a whole bunch of mods, and I've tested them out, and they work okay, so we're not crashing or anything like that, but we do have some mods installed. So just very quickly, most of these are visual. Yep, we've got a new tech tree, so it's completely different to the standard tech tree, so it's a bit more well, it puts probes first and mancraft come later, so that's one of the interesting things. So we've got all these nice, I said most of them are like a couple of alarm clock engineer. They're useful, lighting and collision effects. They're just yes, they're just that. So if we go, boop, launch the game, which we haven't done yet for some reason. Do-doom, do-doom, doom. Game launch. Hehe. I am not using short delay. Let me just turn off the monitor one though. Boop, thank you. There we go, and the game should kick in. Get through some mods. Let me just take a look at that. Go away. Some of these mods are a little bit on the 1.02 side of things, so let's let the game load up. Yeah, I'm not using. I am not using short delay because it causes buffering problems. Yes, it is Windows 10 development preview. I've been using it since it came out, near enough. Yeah, but I have got my bitrate set to constant bitrate and 3300 kilobytes, so 3.3 megabits. So if you want me to lower the bitrate or turn it off of constant, let me know and I will put it back into variable. But it's apparently more stable on constant bitrate. So we can always do that if needed. Most people can handle 3.3 meg, but that's not everybody. I mean, my old broadband could barely handle that. So before I got fibre in, got my game load up. It's not like we're running a streaming program at the same time as a as a game that uses CPU intensive, are we? No, we won't do anything like that, would we? But yeah, if we get buffering issues, what we'll do is we'll either drop off the constant bitrate and we'll go back to variable. We'll maybe drop the bitrate down, and it could just be the ingest server, or we could crash the game immediately on boot. Nice. Okay, 1 second. This game. Where's my? That one. That one will do the good job. You beep, and you beep. Just to knock a couple of mods out that can cause problems, because it decided to just now cause problems. So you three can go. I like you on. You look nice and pretty, but we don't need pretty. We need working. Go. Interesting. You can see the monitor. Monitor cap just turned off the power. Was interesting. Come on, game. Normally I have the game running ahead of time, but I want to show you the mods ahead of time so you can see them. So what do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Yeah, we've got fibre. We've had fibre for about 3 months, 4 months now. It's what's been allowing the streams actually, because before that I couldn't stream at all. It was 400k upload speed maximum, and just no, can't stream at that. But now we've got 33 down and 7 meg up, so we're actually pretty good. Recommendation for headphones. Do you want headphones with microphone or the headsets with microphone, or headphones without microphone? Because I have the ones I use do not have a microphone, and they are very comfy and very good quality sound, but they are moderately expensive. As far as with microphone, I haven't got a clue. Yay, we're up, we're running. So, okay, the mod I took out was the one that gives us clouds, which is really nice. I really do like it, but it does seem to be the one that pushes you over your memory limit. So we've removed that one. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to run into a testing game, because we're just going to do a quick rocket up to just test some bits and show you some of the new little bits in the mod as well before we get onto the hard mode career. So, hey. We had Sky at some point. Let's just go in and back out and just see if the Sky comes back. Oh, Sky. And... Okay, so we don't have Sky apparently. Yeah, the fibre here, because we're in a rural village, is 33 down, 7 up. We could get about, I think it's about 70 down and 20 something up if I lived in a town or a city. But where we are, I'm looking to get, basically it's fibre to the end of the road, and then it's copper cable from the end of the road to the house. So we get that sort of dropping speed because of that. So I just want to test something really quickly. I want to just drop a pod onto the ground. I want to make sure we've got clouds outside. Because I'm a little concerned we've got black sky and it's middle of the day. Oh, it might not be middle of the day. It might actually be completely midnight-ish. Boop. Oh, look, it's dark. Yeah, ambient light. Ambient light. You can... It's daytime. It's nighttime. It's daytime. Nighttime. Boop. I've been playing with that so you can actually see stuff at night. But it is actually nighttime. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Let's launch. Let's go back into the vehicle assembly, and we will go and actually do stuff. We can see. Okay, we have sky. It's not. It's just nighttime. Yeah, I've seen it outside. It's dark at night. Okay, so we need to build a craft because this actual save doesn't really have any crafts because this is a brand new testing save I built. For it's got all the default save stuff in there. None of my stuff's in there, is it? Apart from my aerospike orbiter. But the aerospikes have been upgraded. They're actually useful now. So yeah, but this was my orbiter for testing stuff. I was actually testing the parachutes to make sure they can actually work if you drop them at high altitude, and they do if you configure them right. So earbuds, no mic. Okay, what space center is that supposed to emulate? I don't think. I think it's completely just their own creation. Although the KSC with Kerbal Space Center does share initials with the Kennedy Space Center, so maybe. Although in real life you won't put your launch towers, launch pad that close to your office blocks. Yeah, that flag there looks okay as a flag, but it looks really nice on the pods. I was surprised how much it came out. I mean, I had it originally with the white background, but nah, the transparent background looks really nice. I like the way it sort of, yeah. Okay, so what we, zoom out again. There we go. So what are we doing? Yeah, Ohm's law is just a pain sometimes. Go away. Go away. Thank you. So, this is a test craft I built as literally as a test. I want to test the new heat shields out in 1.04, sorry. I tested out the drug chutes on drop stages like this one. And I also tested the main chutes. And my conclusion, if you're going to drop chutes for a long-term drop, get the air pressure and whack it right up to the top, like that, and then get your drogue chutes and set them to about that, and they won't rip off. Basically, they won't actually rip off. They'll actually, if it makes it all the way down, which this stage actually does, they will deploy automatically at the appropriate altitude, and they'll actually save your craft just before impact. Yeah, because I actually did it on these ones here as well. So drogue chutes go to 70. And main chutes, ooh, lag. Thank you. Main chutes go to 75. It's basically about 1,500 meters above the ground. Okay, and the obviously main chute just leave it as normal. I'll save that. Okay, so we want to build something. What are we going to build? We're going to build a rocket that's of a SpaceX style design to sort of tribute them for their great work. Unfortunate mishap, the anomaly. I love the word anomaly. It broke apart. It was an anomaly. So it was a unmanned craft with a cargo pod on top. So we're going to try and replicate their design. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. Do you think that space station could have been built without the shuttle? Yes, and better. It sounds odd, but the space station is limited by the size of the components you can put inside of the space shuttle. So if you take the space shuttle out of the equation, you can build bigger parts. In theory, anyway. And lifting those is much easier because you don't have to lift the weight of the shuttle as well. Docking process would have also been easy because you have a docking module specific for each piece if needed. But to top it off even more, you don't have to lift the shuttle. And shuttle designs are nice and fancy, but not very efficient for launching because it's much better just to stick your payload on top of the rockets without lifting the shuttle itself. But they are much better for landing people because you can control the landing. Dropping for the atmosphere like a brick is, well, it's the way we always do it, but it's not necessarily the best way of doing it, is it? So, I really should start putting bits into this rocket. So we'll start with... oh, by the way, the air brake's still massively overpowered. It's possible to bring a spacecraft from orbit down to the ground with no heat shield, not blow any parts off. And if you use the air brakes, it'll just slow itself down enough, and it'll actually go down to about 200 meters per second for parachute deployment. So, yay! Right, so let's start with the actual cargo itself. I'm not going to put any command pods on top because this is a unmanned craft. So we'll just go into a cargo base and see what we've got available. Do we have any round cargo bays? I haven't actually looked at the cargo bays for a long while. No, they're all airplane style cargo bays, aren't they? So we'll be using service bays, decent sized service bays. Service bays! So we'll go 2 service bays for the actual cargo, and then we'll put a nose cone on top. Where's the cargo? No, I don't want an intake. That nose cones. There we go. Nice nose cone. So that will no, wrong nose cone. We need a docking port on top. Although we don't have a space station to dock, we'll go to it. Okay. You got buffering problems. Is it a bad buffering problem? Because I can always drop the bitrate down or go off of. Let me just check on something. Boop, outside of thingy. Encoding. We are on constant bitrate. I can turn that off if you would like. I will. It might not. Yeah, I can stop the constant bitrate, but I have to end the stream and restart the stream. That's not a problem for me. I can do that if you would like. But let's have a look. Because I haven't used constant bitrate before. Last time I tried to use it, my router actually rebooted in the middle of a stream, so I panicked and turned it off. What am I doing? I'm looking for a narrower. Nope, bit too much of a narrow. I need to narrow that one. That's the one I wanted. Flat top, docking port. And we'll go with... Yay! First time. Docking port. So, that's basically the main sort of body of the craft. We need a service bay. Service module. Service module. Service module. We have service module, so I keep saying it for. I need a decoupler. Let's go with... Where are you hiding? You. I saw you hiding there. Right, so we need a decoupler. We need a heat shield, because this part is on the SpaceX rockets that comes down again. So we need... Oops, too big. That one. There we go. Boom. Do 160. We'll do 240. Play safe. Boop. There we go. Okay, so we need a orbiting piece. Orbiting piece. That would be fuel tanks. Okay, it seems to be working better there. Good. Right, so I just want a small fuel tank. Wait, Rig. I just want a small... I have trouble detecting the difference between the absolutely massive and the only moderately massive tanks. Yay, there we go. And we want a single engine. Oh, in case you wonder, this is one of the mod engines. This is a beautiful engine, this. It's an SRB that's throttleable. So it's got limited fuel and good weight, a decent cost, but you can throttle it. I've used it a couple of times. It's actually quite interesting to work with. Let's see, we want a decent engine on there. Go with a poodle. We'll see how that gives us when we're in space. I might need to increase that, but we'll find out. And then we'll go to a bigger engine. Decoupler. Right, so this is our sort of SpaceX-ish design. Might need to take one of those search bays off though. We'll find out in a moment. So that's the main part goes into space. That pulls off and they... Okay, good. Next. Do I... Yeah, okay, so you didn't hear the answer. Okay, the space station. If you build the space station without space shuttles, you could build it bigger and faster. And the reason being, like I said, the space shuttle... The space station actual physical size is limited by the size of its components. And the components, the actual individual modules, are limited in their size by the inside space of the space shuttle's cargo bay. So if you remove the space shuttle from the equation, you could put bigger, fatter pieces on top of a rocket, or you could put longer pieces on, and stuff like that. On top of that, the rockets that lift the space shuttle and cargo into space have to lift the cargo and the space shuttle. If you just go for a standard rocket, then you don't need to lift the extra weight of the space shuttle. So you could do it. You could lift more weight and bigger payloads if you don't use a space shuttle. The space shuttles are cool and they're great for re-entry because you can control the re-entry, but you have to lift the extra weight, which when you're lifting extra weight is cargo you're not lifting. So yes, a space station would have been built faster because there'd be more rockets available because you just build one every time. No 2 to 3 year turnaround time on a shuttle. They wouldn't have been grounded for several years after the accidents. So generally speaking, it's better to have non-shuttles for cargo runs like lifting space station parts. And because I think landing with control is much better than just landing with a heat shield and a pallet just falling through the air. I think landing with a space shuttle design is better. So you're much better off launching the space station pieces by rocket and launching the crews by a shuttle type design. Yes, exactly. The space shuttle cargo bay is the most massive of any manned rocket by a long way. But once again, it's just a matter of you could build a non-manned rocket bigger. We haven't done, but you could, using those same engines that the shuttle had. How would they coordinate the humans and the modules together if not sure? Same way we do now with the Soyuz. When the Soyuz goes and docks to the space station, they coordinate them together, dock on the end. The ATV from the European Space Agency flies up to the space station, docks by itself. You could build, I mean, even the Progress, which was available at the time, can dock remotely because it's got option to remote dock or dock by handheld control or remote control. So you can still do it, but a lot of the actual work was made easier by having the robotic arm on the shuttle. So my advice would have been launch all the parts on their own and then send a shuttle up to assemble, because the shuttle arm could be very useful. And then the shuttle could be smaller because it could just be a manned pod with an arm. Okay, we really should start building something. We have sort of staring at this decoupling stage for a long while. Okay, so we are building that. So now I think we build out, and we can put like because the actual capsule has a fairing around this lot. So we'll go for a fairing ring next. So we'll just have a widener. The one that widens it the most. Boop. Thank you. Then we need a fairing ring. Yeah, the Canada arm on the station made life a lot easier. It means that the space shuttle didn't need to lift its own internal arm anymore, which obviously took up a lot of space in the bay and was also added weight. So that made life a lot easier, and it also meant that eventually Europe and I think Russia were eventually launching modules themselves after the space shuttles were grounded for a short while when they were looking for some problems with the fuel tanks. So it just meant they could continue building, but that just made life a lot easier. And also rearranging the station, because they did have to rearrange it a little bit. But the Canada arm's amazing. I'm actually wondering if they send the HoloLens up, which they were doing in this SpaceX mission that didn't make it. If they send up another HoloLens, will they be able to control the Canada arm from the HoloLens? Because that'd be really interesting. Fairings, that one. Yay, I got the right one as well. So we'll go there. There's nothing wrong with that piece. Build it. Build. So I have to actually take it out. You're going to be awkward with me, aren't you? So you want me to do that, but you won't let me do that. Come on. What is this, a rocket? So you want me to actually go out first, really sharply. Okay. You're making me do it. I don't like it. Oop, can I go up, please? Thank you. Up, and then we go in there, and then in there. Boop. There we go. We have a fairing. We've still got some work to do in here for design, but we'll just get this basic up and running. So that's our basic piece. The shuttle actually had a longer than 1 year turnaround time, but there was multiple shuttles, so you were able to land one and then launch another one in a few months' time. But each shuttle was out of action for about 18 months. There was 4 shuttles in a rotation. I'm not sure if it was 18 months, but it was definitely over a year. But each shuttle would land, go into a refurb, and have all the heat shields replaced, and then be mounted on a rocket, and a lot of work for a crew to do. And even the engines had to be completely redone. So, okay, so we need a fuel tank. And we're going to go bigger and better and faster. Bump. One of them. And 2 of them. You know what? I don't like it with them. You. There we go. I like the black bits to meet up. Engines. We'll go with them because it's the best, closest thing we can get to a 9-engine base. But, oh, look at that. We can actually make it into space with that one piece. Nice. Well, in that case, we can start dropping cargo in there and see how that affects the weight. But I want to add parachutes to this thing because obviously we're going to be able to bring it down if we can. So, parachutes. Parachutes. There you are. Can I have 4, please? I'm going to place them on the top, hidden away from all the heat. And then just for the fun of it... Actually, no, we won't have 4. What we'll do... Go there. We'll take 3 normal chutes and 3 drogues. Okay, and we'll say normal chutes deploy at our last second deployment rate, and these chutes will deploy at 6,000, and we'll deploy them manually, but we'll see how they look. Ooh. Well, yeah, I mean, American efficiency. You imagine the actual effort taken to actually launch something like a space shuttle into space. It's an amazing achievement just to be able to get the thing off the ground, let alone turn them around in just a short period of time. Open. You're not going to open because there's a fairing on top of you, aren't you? I can do it this way then. We're going to just drop some random bits in here to give it some mass. Let's say science stuff. Let's drop it in one of those guys. Yay! Boop. There you go. One there. I'm about to throw one up here as well, just because we can. We've got some ScanSat stuff up here as well, and okay, you won't mount to the craft. That's no problem. We'll go and drop some goo containers in there. Just basic. Really, you won't snit inside my. Hey, look, they fit. There. Zoom. Dum, dum, dum. There we go. Let's put some. We need some power generation, so we'll stick a couple of batteries in here. Batteries. They keep moving these things. I mean, they do add new stuff all the time, so you know. Batteries. There we go. We have a cargo bay. It's got batteries and cargo and stuff in it. I think we're ready to launch that, actually. It does need a power generation point, so let's stick an RTG inside. There we go. We have an RTG on the top. Hey! Now I'm wondering, is that poodle going to be sort of powerful enough? Because it's only 0.45. Maybe we swap it out for a what do you call it? A skipper. Skipper. Go there. Ba -ba. Yep, that's much more powerful. Wow, it gives us more delta V as well. I'd have thought the extra weight and yeah, okay. Well, if it gives us more delta V, then I am happy, and I probably need to redo that fairing. Fairing. Click. Delete the fairing. We'll do it again. Thank you. Can you build it there? Come on, you know you want to. I don't want to go out. Okay. Beep, beep. And then up. Beep. Up. And then whoop, we curve it in like that. And then in like that. And then in like that. Boop. Egg shape. Dun dun dun. Now this may or may not make it to orbit. I have absolutely no idea. I mean the delta V and stats are good, but it could flip. So I'm going to do the sort of newer behaviour thing. Let's just slap some fins on the bottom. Doop. Just because, well, we know how these things can be now in 1.04, sorry. And we will go and have some stability assistance. Boop. Boop. There we go. Okay. Right, let's do a quick check of our staging. Dun, dun, dun. Yep, so they'll fire and that engine will fire. We will drop the fairings. Not sure if we'll drop that fairing right there. Well, actually, we kind of have to do it, don't we? And that, nope, I don't want that dropping at the same time. You there. Dun, dun. And we'll drop the drug chutes first. So those are the drugs. Drugs. Bump. Da 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 da. Yep, happy with that. Happy with that. Anybody see any problems? Nope. Good. Can you imagine actually standing on the ground next to a rocket in the tower, just looking at that? Okay, what do we have? What do we have? Let's just restart that because apparently the chat didn't start on that machine. Okay, so we're going to launch this up. And to the tower. Bum 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 bum. Here we go. Let's boop boop. Let's just knock it forward to daytime so we can. Why are you glowing? Seriously, why are you glowing? Thank you. To the morning. Hey, morning. Let's have a look. Would I feel safer flying on the shuttle, Dragon version 2, Soils, or CST 100? Personally speaking, on the Dragon. The reason being newer technology. I like the idea of newer technology. But I saw the abort sequence on that, and it gets off the pad really, really quickly if it needs to do. So yes, I really like the Dragon 2. I haven't seen its re-entry process, but I assume it's pretty good. But I prefer the space shuttle for re-entry because of its ability to turn and glide back into a runway. But the Dragon 2 is designed to eventually land on the pad with engines. So yeah, I go Dragon 2. Possibly 3 if they ever went out. Okay, SAS. It's an unmanned craft, don't forget. So we've got stuff to do. All right, here we go. In 3, 2. Wait for it to fall over. Look at the engine lighting mod. Lights that pad up. Okay, here we go. We are climbing. I'm going to throttle back in just a second because we don't want to be going too fast on this. So just sort of adapt to there. Beginning a small turn. I like to do a 10-degree turn at around 100 meters per second. It just gets you moving away from the pad in case you drop anything on top of it. And there we go. And apparently we have, oh look at that, we have these are actually causing underneath of the fairing to glow. Very nice, very, very nice. Okay. 3,000. 4,000, we'll begin a bit of a more aggressive turn at 5. Beginning more aggressive turn now. And don't go too far, we've still got aerodynamics to worry about. We'll go to about 45 degrees. We'll go to 45 degrees at 10k, like we normally do. I actually really haven't read that much about the Cygnus orbiter, other than it's a really good orbiter, obviously. So rolling over to 45 degrees. And then when we're at 45, we'll just go full throttle and climb out the rest of the atmosphere at full throttle and let the fairing do its job. Look at the flame effect on our fairing there. 37 kilometer aperture at the moment. 40. We are climbing up, and we are Just slow down that thrust a little bit because we are pushing that a bit hard. Let's just head her over a little bit more. There we go. Hold that attitude, please. Full throttle, go, go, go. And engine off. We've got a 100-kilometer apoapse, and we're going to use that to. We really don't have any reaction control. Not reaction control. Well, we don't have reaction control either, but we don't have any SAS. That was an oversight on my behalf there. Well, we're passing 50. We'll dump that fairing at around 70. Just turn the engines on a minute. I just want to lean her over a bit more. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. 60. Going. Time up her up. And 70. Okay. Time for fairing separation. And fairings. Oh, you gotta admit that is a beautiful sight to see. At least it's better than the TX-04 fairing separation, which basically exploded. Okay, let's roll her over to the apoapse, to the prograde. Let's roll her over to the prograde, which we are trying to do, but we're too big and heavy. Ugh. Okay, so small amount of throttle. There we go, just to get us on a roll. And once we're in the roughly right position, I will time warp up the rest of the way, and we'll do an engine burn for orbit. And here we go. Up to 100, please. 104 is our target. So we're 20 seconds. We'll start burning at 10 seconds. And come on. Come on. Come on. And go. And come on. Yes. Yes. And we will drop this tank in just a moment. 100. And we'll drop the tank early because we can, and we need just to get some more control over it. So throttle her up. There we go. And orbit insertion. We have orbit insertion with a rather odd looking orbit of 94 and 138. We're in orbit. Yay! Could you do me a favour? Could you just for once actually just go over there where I keep telling you to go and stay there? Thank you. In fact, could you auto hide? Thank you. Alright, so we have an orbit, we're in, hooray! And there we go. Let's just open these up. Boop. Boop. And there we are. Our cargo of a few batteries, some goo, and some material weight are all in space. We have a docking pod. We don't have a space station to dock with in this save because it is a brand new save file. So what we'll do is we'll just take it around an orbit and we'll try and drop it on top of the space center. Boop. And can anybody else tell me if anybody else having buffering problems? Because if you are, I will drop the stream and go back to variable bitrate. But if it's just one PC, then chances are it's just your internet, unfortunately. So I want to drop on top of the space center. Where is the space center? There. So if we run ourselves around to about here. Oop, this is a bit early, just so we can see what we're doing. Warp to there. Hey, you're back again, Yoni. Well, we're in space. I don't know how far you saw it before you got buffering problems. But whoop, there we are in space. We are in the shade. Give me 1 second. That's what this is for. Boom. Zoom. There we go. We're in space. We have a nice spacecraft. All of our stuff. Yay. Right, I'm going to put that back to normal. Now, I want to actually just pretty much bring this straight back down to the ground to just show you a landing with this kind of craft. We're going to try and point it as close to there as we can. This was basically just a test flight of our of our lifters. So, let's say we'll start our descent burn about here. Why did I do the automatic one? I'm much got more control over the manual one. There, descent burn there. Give me retrograde. Painfully slow retrograde burn. Turning, turn, 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 turn. Dun, 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 dun. So this craft is literally just going to do a return burn now, just to make sure we test all our technologies out, and then we can go and do something in either the career mode like we typically would do, or we can go somewhere in Sandbox. So you're going to have to let me know where you want me to go, but this craft was literally just designed to get to orbit and back. So we are now in a position for a retrograde burn, and we want to bring the retrograde orbit to about there. There we go. I have really no idea because my landing there is utterly useless. I tend to hit there, 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 or there. So we'll find out. But let's close up the guys. Doop, doop. And let's just time hopper down to 70k. Where we get rid of this engine. Because we don't need the engine. We have our own little heat shield there to protect ourselves. Okay, so engine will be removed, but let's just get rid of the engine in the normal way of doing this. So if we could just swing around and pop, retrograde. So we push the engine off to one side so it doesn't come back and hit us in the arse later on, because you know it will do. Okay, goodbye engine. I actually did this once. I put the engine straight downstream, and we finally tend to disappear above you, but I did it once, but I sent it that way. And I deployed the parachutes later on, and the engine just went boom, straight past. Hey, time warp down. Hey, goodbye. We will not forget you, unnamed engine. There we go. We have fire and flames. So we are going, hopefully, to slow down to about here in this plane area. I've never yet hit the actual space center, so yep. And there's our ablator. So we brought 240 with us. Let's see how far how much we actually needed. We have our whole set of parachutes in there as well. More than we actually need, but it is a representation of somebody else. So you know, we do what we can do. These speeds don't bleed off as fast as they used to do they? Oh, there's the space center. I can just make it out there. So we're not far off aiming for it, but I think we're going to drop short. Let's just double check. Should be short, but not by too much, I don't think. So would I mind doing some prison architect later in the stream? We can do later on after we've done a bit of KSP, but the question applies: what do you want to do in the prison architect? Do you want to continue that over prison or start a new prison? Oh, well, we actually look at that. We're coming slightly off angle. That would be the explosions from up here, because apparently they can be heard this far back. And we're going to drop short. And we didn't lose actually much of later on that one. We added to 240, we got down to 295, so we could have brought just 20. We are now still supersonic, so we're just going to wait for that to disappear, and then we'll deploy our... Yep, we'll deploy them now actually. So I've deployed them, although you can't see them because I have got them set to quite high deployment points. And I got these set to very high deployment points. This is just a configuration I was playing around with, and it works fine with a manned capsule and also some other like engine parts, so it should work fine for this. I mean, by now normally you would have deployed them, but I got them deployed now. In fact, deploy both lots and show you how it works. So we're dropping down fairly rapidly. I'm just going to turn off the SS. We don't need that now. We should be pretty good just to fall. Just in case you're wondering, the door behind me is open because it is way too warm to have it shut, and the local airbase is doing a lot of night flying at the moment, so you might hear them. Where's my shadow? Shadow! Hey, anybody see a shadow? Oh, there's the drugs. I don't see a shadow, and that's usually a bad sign. And then time warp down because we're now going 30 meters per second. And the main chutes will deploy at about 1500. Nope, actually before that, 1700. Okay. Oh, there it is. Hello. But there we go. So we actually come down quite snugly with those parachutes in that configuration. And it looks like you don't really need much more than 40 for a 3 meter wide base to come down. Jettison tank contents. Oh, okay. I've got a mod called Jettison tank contents. We can dump all your fuel if you need to come down lighter. But apparently you can dump the ablator as well, which I didn't know. Interesting. You just pop it off or something. Here we go, and time warp off, and we're coming down to 5 meters per second, which I believe is survivable for the entire craft. But our computer is at the bottom, so if anything's going to break, it's going to be the computer, isn't it? Bump! There we go. A nice little clank as we fell over. Alright, so we can recover the vessel because we are pretty close to the launch site for me anyway. I mean, I'm on the right side of the mountains. That's a rarity, and not in water as well. So let's recover. Okay, so you had to reload. Okay, so I said yes, we could possibly do some prison architect later on if you would like. Just tell me what you want to do. Do you want to do a new prison, or do you want to do a continuation of the existing one? And if existing one, then we need to know what to do with it. Where's my team of helicopters and doctors? What helicopters and doctors? Oh, you've similar to the Soyuz landing. Yeah. That was very much similar to the Soyuz landing, and I never understood that part. You land your craft, and then you grab the astronauts out of the craft in the least dignified way possible, lob them on a chair, and then fill it around with press, and they look really like, well, you know, could you give us 10 minutes to get used to gravity again before you start taking pictures? It'd be so much nicer. So, yeah, they're always crappy cheap beach chairs as well, aren't they? Never any decent stuff. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we're gonna go and we start the actual hard mode one. I think it's a good idea because we don't really have anywhere to go, no real mission on this. So we'll just start in hard mode and see how it works. So main. Unless anybody else wants anything else. Nope. Okay. Give this a name. Flag. The different colours as well. Look. There. Blue. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm not going to do hard because hard gives you all these really low and these will make it a bit grindy. So we'll do normal grades for everything. But we'll turn off reverting flights. We'll leave the quick loading on. We just won't use it. No. Screw it. Missing crews will not respawn. We're doing auto wire. We'll have the entry purchase on. No stop vessels. Okay, what do you think about that configuration? Does that look alright to you all? Configuration. Yeah, hard mode hype. So is that configuration good enough for you guys, or do you think we should tweak some things? Let me know before we continue, because this once we set this is sort of set in stone for the most part. The Soyuz is cramped. How else would you get out? Well, they could lift you out a bit more dignified than just, you know, fireman's lift and lob you on a chair. You know, you've been in space. You could just lift you out carefully and move. You know. I didn't actually make my logo in Photoshop. I made it in the GIMP image program, which is just a graphical image manipulation program. It's a basically open source free version of Photoshop, and I really like it because it's free. I actually have Photoshop. I actually prefer GIMP for a lot of stuff. All the thumbnails I make for the YouTube channel are all done in GIMP. Okay, so we're going to accept that. Everything is good. And boop. And boop. Here we go. Loading. Load. So we got a few things to sort of work with. Obviously, it's a career mode, so we have to work with a small tier, get some science and build up. Which is why I want you to have the normal points system, because earning less money and paying more for that just makes life grindy in a live stream or a YouTube video. But in a normal play, it's actually quite fun. But you don't want to be waiting hours for me to do this. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick look at contracts. So we have our contracts. Hey. Now I believe these automatically activate now. I can't remember, but I'm going to take them anyway. Oh, sorry. They used to automatically activate. So in the 1.3, I think it was 1.2, 1.3, they made the contract automatic. So you would launch and you get your automatic speed records. One of the mods stops that and puts it back into your control, which is good and bad, but it's not something I can tweak. But it also does other stuff. So we're going to say we'll take the 18-kilometer altitude record, but you'll notice we have a separate one for manned altitude record. Okay, so just to show you what it means, under our building capabilities, one of the mods, which was the SETI tech tree, means we don't have a manned command pod from the beginning. We only have the Probodyne. So our first rockets can only be unmanned. In fact, in order to go manned, we have to go and research. And we need to research that one to give ourselves an airplane cockpit, or go to level 2. Level 2? No, level, actually, there. Early command pods. We have to go that far up the tech tree to get a command pod. So that's going to be an interesting... This is brand new to me because I've never dealt with this tech tree before. I've never worked with this tech tree, so that's going to be really interesting as well. Okay, what do we got? How long does it take you to record a 30-minute YouTube video with graphics, tagging, etc.? Okay, most YouTube videos I do are 20 minutes long. If it goes over 20 minutes, that's because I ran over and forgot. Usually with Skyline, because I get sort of dragged right into that. And sorry for the coughing, because it's just dry for some reason. But yeah, a 20-minute recording takes 20 minutes on most cases. Because I start recording, you get everything, I end the recording, done. That's for most things. Kerbal Space Program takes approximately 2 hours for a 20-minute video, because you have to cut out a lot of the launch sequences and a lot of rendezvous and stuff which you don't get to see, because it's the same all the time, so I might as well cut it out. Which is one of the reasons why Kerbal is so rare on the channel. It's just I go, I need a video for tomorrow, I got 20 minutes to record, or I can have 2 hours to record, and yeah. Kerbal tends to get pushed to one side, so I really want to do more Kerbal because I love Kerbal, it's an amazing game. But once I've recorded it, you then go and have to put it through an editing program. For Kerbal, it's actually editing as well. But for most videos, it's just a matter of sticking the end card on it. The rendering process takes basically double whatever the actual recording time was. So if it was 20-minute recording, it's 40 minutes to render. Because the rendering program I use is actually Sony Movie Studios. It's a bit slow for rendering, but produces good editing. I used to use a video pad, which had really good one-to-one speed on rendering, but had a slight problem with the ability to actually do MP4s. Yeah, so there you go. Tagging and stuff, I actually have text files ready with tags to go. I spend about 10-15 minutes on tags at the beginning of every series, and then just use the same tags over and over again. You'll notice the video descriptions never change because I got fed up with doing it. So anyway, that's what we're doing. We're going to take an altitude record because the manned record is something we can't do. We're not going to be able to escape the atmosphere, so we're going to leave that contract on the grid for now. Because the first rocket is actually going to be not capable of actually making it to orbit, or even to space in most cases. But we'll take a look. So first, we need a Probodyne, so we'll bring the Probodyne in. Let's have a look. So you thought the Kerbal dude was just somewhat saying it was hungry. Yeah, Werner von Kerman and all the other guys. I only remember Werner von Kerman's name because he's and Gene Kerman because they're real people's names. Well, we have a few parts that we don't normally get. Interesting. We get a lot more science pieces to begin with because we don't get the ability to take crew reports. So it's sort of an interesting sort of piece. So what we'll do is we'll build a sciencey rocket. You'll also notice no parachutes. The first rocket has to be entirely disposable because there's no way to actually recover it. Does the UK have problems with illegal immigration? Yes. We have a lot of immigrants in the country. A lot of them are perfectly legal and they're here to work and live and do normal stuff, and they come in the right way. Fine with that. No problem there. They come in. We mean the UK's population itself is mostly immigrants from way back when, but there's a fairly substantial population of people sneaking in, and that's something that they are working on. But it's something they'll have real trouble because we are a tiny island, so we've got a lot of ways in. So yeah, so it's always a problem. That's basically your first rocket, by the way. But I'm going to protect my probe core by putting that down there, because the probe cores are sort of the most critical part, and they can be a bit susceptible to explosions. We also get the fleet and the main SRB. I'm going to go with the main SRB. Oh, look at that! We can actually make it to space. I'm going to reduce that. I need to bring that down. I want to have a 1.5 thrust to weight at launch. 1.51 will be fine. Let's put some science equipment on. Science thermometer. So I'll put the thermometer there. Put the press map barometer. Actually, we should be checking how much these things weigh so we balance them correctly. 0.0, 0.0, and 0.05. Okay, that goes on the very top then. Okay, you're going to be twitchy, are we? So, boop. Put you there, and then we'll align you using the rotation tools. That is what they were designed for. Boop, boop. Not quite straight. Let's just tweak you a little bit. There we go. That way on. Looks good. Just do a quick rotational test, and that looks good. Okay, next thing. There you go. So we have two of these guys, which that one probably sinks inside a little bit. And we have an aerial, which is fine. Actually, I'm going to bring you over. I could really do you both on the same side. Let's put them both on the same side. I will put them there and there. And the reason for that is because they're on that side, where they'll get pulled to one side, but they'll actually go out from the Space Center. How do people sneak into the UK? Well, we're an island. We've got, I think we actually have more coastline than the American coastline, because it's all tiny little coves and caves and stuff. It's like 5,000, or between 3,000 and 5,000 miles of coastline around the UK, because it's so jaggedly and wiggly and stuff, and all these little hidden places. It can just bring a boat in. But most of them, they just use standard issue, jump on a lorry in France and come on over. I mean, I don't really know why, because as soon as you get found, you get sent back. But you might as well apply and stay. Okay, we have power. We have 200 power on those two. That should be more than enough for some transmissions. I'm not going to bring any Kerbal engineers with us. We don't need them. I'm going to put some fins on this thing, though, because I want to make sure it maintains its stable flight. Put 4 on. No, we'll go with 3, because we're not going to be turning it, so you might as well just going straight up. Because we're just going to try and go for straight up. 2, 3. I don't think we'll make it into space, but we'll take that contract just in case. So we'll cancel. We'll call this one KIR. I always do the planet it goes around. KIR. First boom. Ding ding ding. Let's get over contract while we're thinking about stuff. Contracts. I'll have the escape the atmosphere contract, please. Thank you. So that is escape the atmosphere. So we need to get to 70,000. We should be able to hit that if we go straight up. But I don't know. But we'll find out. Because that is borderline. Because I think 2.5 is the actual average. I'm going to reduce that a little bit down to 1.4. Give ourselves a bit more burn time on that engine. 1.4. Oh, 3.8 will do. Okay, so we have our craft. We have our science. We will transmit that science as soon as we can. Launch. Boop. Launch. Dun, 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 dun. So we'll take readings from the ground first. That, by the way, that's temperature, critical temperature gauge mod. It's a bit flaky at the moment for some reason. Always, it shouldn't be showing up until about halfway mark, but it does show up. So let's get the first piece of science from the launch pad. I'm going to transmit that immediately so we can reuse the actual devices. Transmit, transmit, and do we another one? There we go. All science is transmitted, I believe. You are good. Okay, here we go. SAS on. This the Program has SAS, and go. And then immediately take new science data and transmit, because we need to transmit them because we well, we don't have any way to hold multiple, so we'll transmit them immediately. Sorry. We are going up pretty quick. Look, we're 100 meters per second. We are starting to lean a little bit. The SES is trying to do its job of keeping us going upright, but no. SES off. We'll let it roll if it wants to roll. Let's try from here. What do we have? Flying over the Kerbal shores. No, we already have that one. Thank you. We're going up still. I don't think we're going to make it to space on this launch, but that should be good enough for a second launch. And oh, we're getting overheating on the fins. We're still over the shores though. Could do with a bit more leany that way. We could. Oh, I've got a bit of control. Only a little bit, but a little bit of control. Can we go that way? I would really love to get over the grasslands. Let's get some. What do we have now? Shores again. Okay, lean a bit more. Lean a bit more. There we go. We're going to drift, and we're definitely going over there now, so that's good. But now, over the grasslands, transmit. Over the grasslands, transmit. I'm not reading the science, by the way, for just no reason at all. I'm surprised that hasn't broken. I thought that broke off when it got to a certain point. That might be a different mod I'm thinking of in the past. There we go. So we are burnt out now. We are going up, and we are going to 59 kilometers. So that is a long way up. Not space, so we don't get that contract, but we do get the first contract of... Go away. Thank you. We do get the first contract of 18 kilometers. That's a bit of money for us. By the way, this mod is absolutely amazing. This is alternative resources mod. Basically, that is the fuel for your entire craft. That is the fuel for this stage. So it's very useful that way around. Okay, upper atmosphere. Transmit and transmit. So we're getting as much science as we can from here. And we might get lucky and actually be over the mountains at some point and may be able to transmit that science before we get to that point. Yeah, the main reason people want to sneak into the UK is for a better life. We have a good... so we have the NHS, which is our sort of our big thing. We have a good benefit system here, but they won't get any benefits, so it's not for the benefits, although a lot of people think it is. It's mostly because the countries they're coming from are mostly war-torn. So they're trying to just find a place they can live and not actually, die. It's unfortunate they actually live in that situation, but there are the right way and the wrong way to get into countries. Unfortunately for them, they don't have another choice, but we can't take everybody in the world, as the US is the same. And still upper atmosphere. I just want to get it down to the point where we're sort of over the mountains. In fact, can I just force the nose down a bit? If I can do that, I can get it to come down over the mountains. No, don't go backwards. There we go. Hold me that, if you could. Because I want to get down here. I want to get over the mountains, because that's extra science we don't have. That there is just grasslands. So I don't think we're going to do it though, because we are quite high. Where's my science bits? Science bits! Still upper atmosphere. We're coming down though. Let's just time up it down a bit.